Well, thank you for joining us on KGW News at noon. I'm Corey Johnson. Chris McGinnis will join us in just a moment for a first look at your weather, but we start with this afternoon's top stories. This morning, the Justice Department announced it opened a federal civil rights investigation into the death of Alex Preddy. Preddy was shot and killed by Border Patrol agents during an immigration enforcement operation in Minneapolis earlier this month. The Department of Homeland Security says the FBI will lead that probe. Now, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche didn't say exactly why the agency was opening an investigation, but the agency has previously said a similar investigation was not necessary in the death of Renee Good, who was also shot by federal agents in Minneapolis. Activists are calling on Americans to participate in a nationwide strike today. It's in protest of immigration enforcement and what some are calling violence associated with ICE and their operations. Now, that strike is calling on people to skip work, shopping, and school. At least half a dozen businesses in the Portland area have confirmed they'll be closed today. The Trump administration has dropped an appeal to cut funding to schools it accused of DEI practices. Now, Portland State has long maintained they were already in compliance with rules around diversity, equity, and inclusion. Still, the decision to drop this lawsuit comes after a judge ruled against the administration in August, saying the anti-DEI initiative violated the First Amendment. And returning to your weather headlines now, this is a live view from our sky cam up at Timberline Lodge. Holy moly, look at those clouds. We're checking in with Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center. Chris, what have we got going on?
Well, that's cool. So I actually got a time lapse of that shot from Timberline pointed south towards Mount Jefferson. Watch the tippy top of Mount Jefferson there, Oregon's second highest peak, gets swallowed up by the cloud cover here over the last 45 minutes or so. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Wait for it. Anyway, that was pretty cool looking. The Three Sisters off in the distance as well. If you're looking for Cascade snow, unfortunately, I don't see much in our forecast. Snow levels today are up around 5,500 to 6,000 feet, so right at Timberline. We may pick up an inch or two additional up there today. Radar actually does show some light snow beginning to fall on Mount Hood. Down here low where the rest of us are, up and down the I-5 corridor, it's been a little drippy. We picked up a few hundredths of an inch of rain so far at PDX, and the trend over the last 3 hours walks this band of rain from west to east across the region. And in fact, we're already starting to see some breaks along the North Oregon coast, and that's a sign of things to come. Short duration rain event here this afternoon. It's 49 degrees where the breeze is still out of the east, out of the airport. Eventually that breeze may shift southerly and allow us to get up to about 50. Rain for the next hour or two, and then chance of rain, as in there will be some dry time here as we head towards the evening commute. Talk to you in a few minutes, Corey.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, developing this afternoon, Portland police are investigating a possible bias crime. This after someone took a blowtorch to a door and left behind a hateful message. And it appears an interracial and LGBTQ plus couple was their intended target. Celine Stevens spoke with one of those victims.
We genuinely thought we were going to be murdered.
Tuesday night, a couple was settling down for the evening when they heard banging on their apartment door in Northwest.
Handle, like he was trying to aggressively open the door repeatedly and kept knocking really aggressively.
On the other side of the door was this man, seen in this video, recorded by the tenant who wishes to remain anonymous. He says he called apartment security, but when the banging continued about 10 minutes later, the same person had something in his hand.
But it kind of looked like you could see flames, and so I was like, whoa, maybe that's a torch. And then as I'm recording, he puts the torch back into his pocket, and he gets what I, in the moment, and I still believe, was a handgun.
He says he called 911 and hid with his partner in the apartment. The suspect eventually left, and feeling unsafe, so did the couple. When they went outside, they noticed the door was burnt and a message written on the door.
By the time we went in the hallway was when we were leaving the apartment and locking the door behind us, and that's when we saw the whites only.
According to Portland police, when they arrived, they saw a man matching the suspect description, but they didn't have probable cause for an arrest.
It's just insane that he thinks he can get away with it, and if we let him get away with it, then he was right, and he didn't have anything to fear.
Officers searched for him again later that night, but were not able to find him, and it's now being investigated as a possible bias crime.
We're actually an interracial couple. I'm white and my partner's Latino, and we're both part of the LGBTQ community. I think that has a lot to do with it. Racism is something that they're used to, but they are just like, they just really can't process any of this. It's like very traumatic.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
In an update, all but one defendant has settled lawsuits with patients who accused a former West Linn doctor of sexual abuse. Now, the remaining defendant, Providence Willamette Falls Medical Center, is scheduled to go to trial on Monday. You may remember Dr. David Farley ran his West Linn practice for 30 years while also treating patients at Providence and nearby hospitals. He's been accused of abuse by more than 170 people. Farley has also pleaded not guilty to criminal charges separate from the lawsuit. A serial rapist was sentenced in Multnomah County Court to 45 years in prison. Authorities say Damani Anderson sexually assaulted 5 girls and young women, many of them at gunpoint. Prosecutors also add he met his victims through social media or on dating apps. And a reminder, if you or someone you know has experienced sexual assault, know that there is a national hotline available to you. It's open 24/7. That number's right there on your screen. It's 800-656-4673.
When they take your truck and trailer, that is your entire livelihood for your family and your employees.
Developing this afternoon, a KGW viewer says a suspected prolific thief we reported on was the same exact guy who stole his truck and trailer. Now, the suspect, Nicholas Edwards, was arrested earlier this month. This after officials say he led police on a chase while pulling a stolen trailer across Portland. Prosecutors allege he stole trailers across the area and put them up for sale online. Now, in one case, he's even accused of stealing the same trailer twice. In this particular case, the KGW viewer, who's a local contractor, reached out to us after seeing courtroom video of Edwards and remembering what happened to him in 2023 when a man hit him and stole his truck.
He was within 5 feet of me. I'm standing at the hood of my truck and he's leaning in the steering wheel yelling at me. Pretty easy to see who the guy was. I mean, he hit me right in the chest. That Ford truck, the hood's about that tall. It just knocked me back 10 feet.
Now, Worley has called the DA to report the incident. Prosecutors say that's not the only call they've received, and they're working to see if the cases are connected. Well, now to some uplifting news. A national moving survey shows Oregon was among the top states people moved to in 2025. United Van Lines just released its 49th annual National Mover Study, and the Beaver State sits at number 1. Now, they say 65% of those moving last year came here to Oregon. Oregon has steadily sat among the top 10 states over the last several years, up from number 8 in 2024. Among the top reasons people decided to come here were for jobs, followed by family, then lifestyle. And the top city most people who moved here chose, Eugene, Springfield, with 85% opting for the city, citing low costs of living and proximity to other major cities like Portland. The staff with Travel Oregon, the official tourism guide for the state, tell me they're not shocked to see that the Beaver State has claimed the top spot, as tourism rates have also steadily increased in recent years. Their annual report showing those who visit leave with a favorable impression.
Through these reports, we saw tourism spending, so visitor spending, topped $14 billion for the first time ever in Oregon in 2023. And then since 2023, we've seen moderate year-over-year growth. Our data shows that 9 out of 10 visitors after coming here say they're likely or extremely likely to return to Oregon within the next year.
Now, you also might be wondering where the people who are moving here are coming from, what states they're relocating from. Makers of the National Mover Study say the majority of them are coming from California, followed by other places like Washington, Montana, Texas, and Colorado. Well, coming up, uncertainty for one of Team USA's heavy hitters. This as they face a potential injury with less than a week before opening ceremonies. Plus, the most decorated Black Winter Olympian returns to continue her nearly 2-decade-long reign on America's bobsled team. That's next.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
And we have less than 1 week until the opening ceremonies kick off the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy. But ahead of the big day, one of the expected stars of the Games is now facing some uncertainty. Getting ready for her skiing comeback, Lindsey Vonn crashed this morning in her final downhill race before the Games start next week. The Associated Press saying she lost control when landing a jump and was left limping to the medical tent. Now, she was eventually airlifted off of that course. Now, the race was later canceled after 3 of the first 6 racers crashed. But Vonn isn't the only Team USA athlete making a return to the Olympics. Elena Myers-Taylor has another Olympic run in sight, and she's using it to chase history yet again. She's redefining longevity and what's possible in the final stretch of an iconic Olympic journey. Cheryl Priam has her story.
An explosive push of the sled, piling in, then speeds topping 80 miles an hour.
It feels like I'm flying. It feels like I'm just gliding and everything feels right.
For Elena Myers-Taylor, knowing each ride brings the final run closer changes things.
I can't put into words what my entire career has looked like.
Olympic competition has been part of her life for nearly 20 years.
It'll be interesting after these games to have that kind of reflection and to be able to look back and see what's really happened.
With 5 medals, she is the most decorated Black Winter Olympian in history.
That's a wild statistic and one I never thought I'd even accomplish. When I started bobsledding, I thought, hey, I'd win an Olympic medal and then I'd be out and I'd be done. So to have this career now and to be up there with so many accomplished Olympians and to have this statistic behind it, it's incredible.
Milan Cortina would be her 5th Winter Games in a sport where she's set the standard and shattered barriers as a woman, elite athlete, and mom.
Having 2 kids on the road in Europe for 6 months is pretty insane, but they're right there with me. They're my biggest motivators, to have them by my side and to see me day in and day out doing what I'm doing. It's just the coolest experience.
Both her sons are deaf. Her oldest, Nico, has Down syndrome.
I want them to see their mom and know that she continued to chase her dreams despite any obstacles we have.
Now, advocacy is a role just as important as Olympian.
I've got this really strong passion for disability, so if I can combine my love of the Olympics and Paralympics with advocating for people with disabilities too, then that would be the dream.
Elena Myers-Taylor is also redefining longevity in elite competition.
Happy birthday to you.
She recently turned 41.
For so long it's thought, women peak in their 20s or maybe they peak in their 30s or who knows, maybe it's 40. I'm hoping it's 41.
She sees her experience as an edge.
It gives me a lot of confidence going into these games in particular.
You could say Milan Cortina is a bonus Olympics. Elena almost retired after Beijing, but felt the draw back to the track with big goals.
I think the only goal you could set is 2 gold medals. I'm going to do everything I can to make it possible.
And a reminder that the Olympics kick off Friday, February 6th with the opening ceremony in Milan. And you can watch it right here on NBC and KGW.
From talking about the Winter Olympics to spring-like warmth in my weekend forecast. More on that in a second. Right now we're watching the clouds build in Salem. The breeze has shifted to the south, so you're up to 55. East breeze with the light showers falling along Vancouver's waterfront, currently 48. Your full forecast coming up after the break.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW.
And you said start. Well, welcome back. Chris is joining us again now. And so it feels like the days are getting a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's funny how you notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I've got the graphic over my shoulder. Yeah, no, there is something to that. So since the winter solstice, we're coming up on Groundhog's Day. So we're basically halfway through the winter. We've added almost an hour of daylight since the winter solstice. And you do notice it and appreciate it on the sunny days where, the sunsets are now not just a little past 5 o'clock, but knocking on, 5:15, 5:20. All right, that said, bringing us back down, we've got clouds and some light rain out there right now, so we won't appreciate it today, but you will tomorrow when you see my forecast. Radar over the last 3 hours showing some light rain passing on through southwest Washington, northwest Oregon. Snow in the Cascades. Unfortunately, this has been a story all winter long. The lack of snow, the snow level's up around 6,000 feet. So Timberline might squeeze out an inch or two out of this, and then we'll get a break in the action as we go to tomorrow. Here's a look at Futurecast again. A few blobs of rain on the map here, primarily early to mid-afternoon, and then the coverage really dissipates. If you've got plans heading out on the town tonight, odds are that we're going to be dry. Futurecast does bring one more batch of showers through very late tonight and in the wee hours of tomorrow. And then speaking of tomorrow, look at this. Now, this may be a little over-promising, but if we manage this much sunshine tomorrow, 60-plus degree warmth is possible. And with that in mind, we do have near record warmth in the forecast for Saturday. Tomorrow's record 62. I've got us at 60. All right, that said, the breeze right now is still out of the east. It's kind of like opening the refrigerator door to the gorge. And so at least at PDX, Vancouver, east side of town, especially east of 205, temperatures are still in the 40s. Meanwhile, down in Salem, we showed you just a couple of minutes ago. In fact, I can show you right now, 55. So slightly warmer. In fact, North Bend in the low 60s. And even east of the Cascades, it's not terribly cold, but Pendleton right now sits at 39. We'll be hovering in the upper 40s to maybe 50 if we could shut that east breeze off this afternoon here in Portland. And the rain will be diminishing. Little shot of rain between now and about 3 o'clock, and then I think the rain trend or the rain chances diminish. All right, how about the weekend? Increasing clouds tomorrow and near record warmth for Saturday. Again, tomorrow's record 62. Showers back in the picture on Sunday. Let me show you the big picture here. There's our Sunday weather system, and while it looks really impressive wrapping up there over the North Pacific, it's going to kind of wrap itself up out there and give us a little bit of moisture on Sunday. So maybe a quarter of an inch of rain or so on Sunday. But Sunday will be on and off wet across northwest Oregon and southwest Washington. Snow levels once again in the Cascades up around 5,500 feet or higher. We get another glancing blow of showers on Monday, and then the rest of next week, again, with the dry theme. A very dry January, and the first several days of February also look dry. Here's our 7-day forecast. We talked about the weekend, sandwiching in that near record warmth between 2 wet days. And then next week, look at that, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, breezy, offshore breeze with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. We'll be right back.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus. On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back. Well, a student intern at Portland Community College is saving the institution more than $100,000 just by looking at campus water bills. Eric Brorud took bills from the last several years and went line by line through different tax and billing parcels throughout the college. He then took inventory of every meter on every single campus, and he enrolled the college in a city program that gives a discount for proper stormwater management.
The water system here is really complex, and I think that's why it was kind of untouched for so long. Is there are about a dozen campuses at PCC, and a lot of them have multiple buildings.
Well, they certainly are lucky to have him. Now, the Cascade campus was being overbilled by about 12% for outdated structural changes on campus. That saved $50,000. Now, in total, his work uncovered $143,000 in annual savings. We're back right after this.
On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On weather impact alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Chris is here with the last look at the forecast.
Sun sandwich. Is that right? Sun sandwich. Okay, so the sun's tomorrow. The rain's today and Sunday. How about that? And near record warmth tomorrow, by the way. I might add, 60 degrees is my forecast. The record tomorrow is 62. Light showers this afternoon, some rain on Sunday, and then a really dry week next week as well. You know, normal highs this time of the year in the upper 40s.
Wow.
And I've got a couple of days next week knocking on the door of 60, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Ooh, good days to go for a run, right? Well, a reminder, we've added more live news to KGW Plus. Make sure to tune in to Sunrise exclusively on KGW Plus from 7 to 9 a.m. and later tonight at 5:30 p.m. We hope to see you then. Make sure to have a great day.